Hare Krishna. Welcome to our weekly Sunday Feast program. I see many new faces. So I'm going to ask, is anyone here for the very first time or second or third? Yes, I thought so. Probably everyone here for the first time. Okay, nice. Few at the back. Okay, thank you. Let's give a huge round of applause to welcome our guests for today. Thank you all for choosing to be here on a Sunday evening. This is our weekly Sunday program. So we've had this program for decades, every Sunday from 6 p.m. to about 8:30 p.m. The next Aarti will be at 8 p.m. That's when the doors will open again, just like we had the Aarti some time back. The last darshan for the day is going to be at 8 o'clock p.m. And before that, we'll be having a special spiritual discourse, which will start in some time, and it will be going until about 7:10 to 7:15 p.m. and followed by vegetarian dinner prasadam, which will be served at the temple hall. And then, of course, the last Aarti at 8 o'clock, as mentioned. And today's Sunday feast is special because it is also the last Sunday feast for the year 2024. Every Sunday, we've had different guest speakers visiting us, some from within our community, facilitating discourses on various topics. And today is going to be no different. We are very happy to have with us His Grace Anand Gaurang Prabhu, who is not a new face in our community. He's been serving the Toronto community as well as many other communities within the GTA for over a decade, be it facilitating Bhagavad Gita sessions or structured learning from Srimad Bhagavatam. In addition to that, Prabhu also does a radio program on the weekends, speaking about the Bhagavad Gita, connecting with listeners, answering questions. He's been doing that for over 10 years now, and he's facilitated a lot of video classes online across Canada, US, and Mexico. And something else which Prabhu does, which is very unique, is also his involvement in Vedic fire sacrifices. So many of you might have seen we've conducted some of the Narasimhadev Havan at our temple, and also across other temples within the GTA. Professionally, he's quite busy, travels a lot. We are very happy to have him with us after quite a long time, actually. So let's give a big round of applause in welcoming Anand Gaurang Prabhu. Thank you. As Prabhu makes his way, we just want to remind everyone the prasadam will be served at 7:30 p.m. From the temple hall here. Prabhu, please. And we request everyone to kindly honor prasadam within the temple hall and not take it outside. So thank you. We'll now garland Prabhu again. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So as Prabhu mentioned, we welcome you to this last Sunday Feast program for the year 2024. So we have chosen a fascinating verse from Bhagavad Gita, a little later on that. But more importantly, this particular verse will help us bridge the gap or move forward from 2024 to 2025, because we can have a good New Year resolution with the content of this verse. And also, it'll skyvault us away from the material miseries that unfortunately, all of us have to go through to some degree. So this is a fascinating verse from Bhagavad Gita. We will hear the contents of that pretty soon. So before that, we will sing the bhajan, Jai Radha Madhava, as we usually do. This is the bhajan that is penned down by the 29th Acharya in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we will chant that particular bhajan. And the importance of this bhajan is we'll be able to remember various pastimes of Lord Krishna, because you'll hear the name of Krishna, Radha, Rani, Nanda Maharaj, Yamuna, Govardhan, Yasoda, etc. So we'll be hearing that as well. So you'll be able to meditate, even though it's about a minute or so that we'll chant this particular bhajan, you'll be able to meditate on many pastimes of Lord Krishna. And after that, as we usually do, we will chant the Dwadas Shakshara mantra, so which is the 12-syllable mantra, and it is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this 12-syllable mantra is the mantra that was originally given by Narada Muni to Dhruva Maharaj over 2 billion years ago. So it's not something that is invented recently. So we'll chant that 3 times, and then we'll chant the Mangal Charan prayers before we get started with today's class. And the title for today's class is Offer Ordinary, Gain Extraordinary. Okay? Offer ordinary, gain extraordinary. When we say ordinary, it doesn't depreciate what is being offered, but ordinary means this can be done with the day-to-day activities that we all do. Doesn't mean that we need to go to Himalayas and shave the head somewhere else, etc. Performing our day-to-day activities or offering what we already have in our possession is what we are calling this as ordinary. So offer ordinary, gain extraordinary is the topic, and we'll pick the verse from middle of Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. So we'll pick a verse from the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradare. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanajare. Yamuna Tira Vanajare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupakata Mayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakant Vitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschata Dasatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giram Yatkripa Maham Mande Shri Guruntina Taranam Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pratayata Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvise Namaha Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanyayataya Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we'll start off today's class with a fascinating verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. And this verse is from the 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, the last verse in the 2nd chapter, is the 37th verse. And the importance of this verse is because it glorifies, in a way, Bhagavad Gita. And it goes like this: Pibantiye Bhagavata Atmana Shatam Kathamritam Shavana Puteshu Samritam Punantite Vishe Vishuditashayam Vrajanti Chacharana Saroru Hantikam. So here it is said, if one drinks the nectarian messages of Lord Krishna through the oral reception. So we usually drink through the mouth, but the nectarian messages of Lord Krishna, we have to drink through the ears. So when we drink the nectarian messages of Lord Krishna through our ears, then the material contamination that we all have to a degree, different degrees, will be removed, as well as at the end of this material life, there is no more birth. So that is what is mentioned in this Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.37. So the question is, where are these nectarian messages of Lord Krishna? So one is, obviously we know the 700 verses from Bhagavad Gita, which is part of Mahabharata. The nectarian messages of Lord Krishna is there. So 700 verses, so 575 verses are actually spoken by Lord Krishna. And we know 83 are by Arjuna, 41 by Sanjaya, and 1 by Dhritarashtra. But those verses also by Arjuna, Sanjaya, and Dhritarashtra are significant, because that's what gave us this 575 verses that Lord Krishna is giving us through Arjuna to us for eternity. So we have these nectarian messages of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, but also scattered across Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 12 cantos in Srimad Bhagavatam. Across the 12 cantos, the messages of Lord Krishna is available. Same thing in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavad, the other scriptures as well, because Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani combined to form Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there are so many wonderful instructions in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavad and other scriptures as well. So, according to this Srimad Bhagavatam 2.2.37, when we are hearing these messages of Lord Krishna, then the material contamination is removed and we go back home, back to Godhead. And this verse that we have picked is also significant because it also helps us comply or align with another significant verse from Padma Puran, where it says, Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavya na Jadashit. So, act in such a way where you'll always remember Krishna, and do not act in such a way where you'll forget Lord Krishna. So now the question is, how can we always remember Lord Krishna? We have to work, we are students, we have to study, we are students, we have to work because we are employees in some organization. I'm a housewife, I have to cook, I have to purchase groceries, etc. I have to drive, I have to take. How can we always remember Krishna? So it's a very good question. And that's what is being addressed by this particular verse, which is in Bhagavad Gita. And the verse is 9.27. We'll get to that in a minute. When we say remember Lord Krishna, there are two parts to it. One is you remember Lord Krishna by reading and hearing all the glorious pastimes of Lord Krishna which he enacted in this planet Earth over 5,000 years ago. When we read, that is why he is God. Unlimited wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. So especially when you're talking about unlimited strength, all of you would have heard from Srimad Bhagavatam, like classes like this, how when he enacted his pastimes in Vrindavan, which was 11 years only in Vrindavan, and then the next 18 years in Mathura. So a total of 29 years he enacted his pastimes in Vrindavan and in Mathura, and the last 96 years in Dwaraka. Whenever he was in Vrindavan and Mathura, all the most dangerous and most powerful demons came to attack him and all the residents of Vrindavan. He killed all of them, and of course they got liberated when he kills, but he did not even use any weapons to kill any of these demons in Vrindavan and Mathura. So Putana, he sucked the life air out of her. Shakatasura gently tapped the leg on this cart demon. And then Trinavarta just tightened the grip on the neck. So all these most dangerous demons were unhighlighted because of his unlimited strength. Putana, Shakatasura, Trinavarta, Kesi, Vyomasura, Vatsasura, Arishtasura, you name it, all of them, even Kamsa in Mathura, were all killed not with any weapons. And of course, when he was in Dwaraka, to glorify the weapons, he used the weapons to kill, Dandavakra, Shishupal, Poundraka, and many other, powerful personalities as well. And that is why he is referred to as the supreme personality of God. And not only that, we can't even lift this table for 7 seconds. We know that, when he was 7 years old, he lifted the mountain for 7 days and 7 nights. He brought back the dead son of his spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, after many, many years from the abode of Yamaraj. He brought his dead elder brothers, 6 elder brothers who were in Sutala planet based on the request of Devaki many, many years later as well. He swallowed forest fire not once, twice. This is not like a magician with a small stick blowing the fire or just sucking little bit. The entire huge forest fire, and then he showed the whole universe within his mouth twice to Mother Yasoda. So many, many pastimes that we read. So one is remembering those pastimes, and obviously that's very difficult for us to remember each and every aspect of those pastimes when we are driving, when we are working, when we are studying, etc. The second part of remembering is to acknowledge and recognize the presence of Lord Krishna in our day-to-day activity. And that's the essence of what we are going to discuss today. And that is our New Year resolution, for us to remember Krishna by continuing to do what we are doing on a day-to-day basis. If you're a student, if you're working somewhere, you're a housewife, you're a doctor, engineer, doesn't matter. We'll continue to do what we are doing, but we'll be able to acknowledge and recognize Lord Krishna in every aspect of our life. So the verse is 9.27, which is in the middle of Bhagavad Gita, because we know there are 18 chapters, and this is from the 9th chapter. Yat karoshi yadashnashi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So the translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So the translation is, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Son of Kunti is one of the Pandavas is Arjuna, and through Arjuna we get this instruction as to what we can do. It's a set of 3 verses actually. So 9.26 is a famous verse that we all know, where Lord Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toim. That particular verse, if you offer with love and devotion, leaf, flower, fruit or water, I will accept. So he's asking or requesting us, or he's offering to offer us that opportunity to offer different things. So 9.26 is offering various things like leaf, flower, fruit or water. And 9.27 is offering all the actions, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, give away, or whatever sacrifices that you, austerities that you do, offer it to me. So offering the things is 9.26, offering the actions is 9.27. And what does one get when they offer the things or when they offer the action? So 9.28, Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 28 says, you are relieved of the bondage of work when you offer your actions and things to Krishna, and also relieved of this auspicious and inauspicious results of actions that you do. You may inadvertently hurt your co-worker by saying something, but if you're doing it for Krishna, then you are insulated from those negative reactions. So that is the guarantee that Lord Krishna gives. So that is the topic of today's class: offer ordinary, gain extraordinary. So the things that we are offering are easy. It's not expensive, easy to get. Even in a park, if you are there, we get a leaf, flower, fruit or water. We can think of Lord Krishna and even mentally offer it to Lord Krishna. And then any action that we are doing, either it's scripturally mandated or even neutral. What do we mean by neutral? When we are taking shower, when we are driving, we can always dovetail that to Krishna, because the capability, the memory that we are given, the intelligence that we are given is all because of Lord Krishna. So we show our gratitude as we continue to do our day-to-day activities, but still will be able to remember Lord Krishna. So even in Bible, in 1 Corinthians, I think it's 10.23, similar verses there. Whatever you do, whatever you eat or offer, it's because of the glory of the Lord. And then in, one more verse is there in Bible, Colossians 3.23, because I studied in a Christian school, so we were brought up by reading various verses from Bible. So Colossians 3.23, it says, whatever you do, whatever work you do, Do it for the master of all masters, not for humans. So if we are working for our managers, then we may not do our best. But if you're working for God, because material energy is also Lord Krishna's, right? So actually, this is a real incident. There was a person who was in his work desk, and he was just sitting around, and his manager came and tapped his back. Excuse me, why are you not working? He said, oh, sorry, I did not see you coming. So he is working only when his manager is seeing. But if you're working for God, even if you're working in a job, we know material energy is also Lord's energy. So we know that, we are working for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this particular verse actually shows the compassionate nature of the Lord. So Lord is Atmaram. Atmaram means he's completely self-satisfied. He's got everything. He's not dependent on our $10 that we put in the donation box or a fruit that we offer. Krishna does not need it. He needs our love and devotion, which is for our benefit. He is completely satisfied. He's Bhavagrahi Janardhan. Bhavagrahi Janardhan means he is looking for the love and devotion from us, not the actual thing that is being offered. Of course, we need to give the best of what we have. It is said, God looks at not what you offer, but what you hold back, right? So we have to give based on our capability to the Lord, but he's looking for love and devotion. And there are many, many pastimes in our scriptures to prove that, right? So we all know there is this great personality, Vidura, and his wife was offering banana peel. You remember that pastime, right? So she's looking at the beauty of Lord Krishna, taking the banana, taking the peel out, and then she's giving the banana peel to Lord Krishna and throwing the actual banana away. And Lord Krishna relished that banana peel. He's looking for the love, because the love and affection and the devotion that Vidura's wife had was so much, because he didn't even go into Duryodhana's palace because there was a massive feast that was arranged for Lord Krishna, but there was no love and devotion. So Krishna relished the banana peel of Vidura's wife. And also, if you remember, there was this Tulabharam pastime in Mahabharata we read, and then Rukmini offered one tulasi leaf, and that tilted the scales, because Lord Krishna was satisfied by the love and devotion that was offered by in this particular pastime by Rukmini. And also in Draupadi, you remember the Akshay Patra will not generate any food after Draupadi eats, and then Durvasa was sent by Duryodhana, Durvasa Muni and his disciples, and his firebrand, he gets angry very soon, and then there was no food, and then Draupadi prayed to Lord Krishna. He appeared there was one morsel of food grain there with one piece of vegetable, and then Krishna ate that. He was completely satisfied. Durvasa Muni and his disciples went away from the place of bath completely satisfied, and they did not come here to get angry. So offer ordinary, gain extraordinary. The key is the love and devotion and the mood and the gratitude that we are showing to Lord Krishna. And so many other pastimes. Even in Ramayana we know, Sabari, where Shabari was actually offering the berries, right? The berry is one of those fruits where you cannot see and tell whether it's sweet or sour. Only when you bite it and taste it, you'll know. And she was biting. So according to the science of devotional service, it's a big no. We don't eat and taste and offer it to the Lord, but the love and devotion overpowered Lord Ram, and he relished that as well. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we know so many wonderful pastimes as well. The fruit seller actually gave fruit. When Krishna gave few grains that had fallen, most of them have fallen between his fingers as well. And then she got unlimited jewels. And then we have Sudama. Two Sudamas are there. One is Sudama, who is a garland maker. He made these beautiful garlands in Mathura. And then later on, Sudama Vipra in Dwaraka, where he took some broken pieces of rice that he begged, and Krishna actually relished that. That's the only verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which is a verbatim verse from Bhagavad Gita. Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. It's actually there as the verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, not in the purport, but actual verse, which we just discussed about 9.26 as well. So many, many pastimes. Even Gajendra the elephant offered this wonderful lotus, and then Krishna was completely satisfied. He saved Gajendra from the clutches of this crocodile, and then gave him the forearm form as well. So many, many pastimes are there. So offer ordinary and then gain extraordinary. So everything belongs to Lord Krishna, and we know that Bhoktaram 5.29, there's a famous verse, most of you may have memorized this, Bhoktaram Yaketapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So he's the supreme lord of all the planets, and the Devatas as well. And then Bhagavad Gita 10.8, another verse that I can think of, is that Aham Sarvasya Prabho Matta Sarvam Pravartate. So where he's the source of all the material and spiritual worlds, right? So it can be the most, the richest person in the world. It could be, just to throw some names, Elon Musk or whomsoever it is. They can have many things, but can they own the sun? Can they own the moon? Can they own the air and the oxygen that we are able to breathe? Can they own the oceans, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean? So Krishna is the owner, or he owns everything. So he's self-satisfied, he's Atmaram, but he's Bhava Grahi Janardana. So this particular verse helps us to know that spiritual activities need not be restricted to Sundays, within the four walls of the temple. And it need not be restricted to the four walls of our temple altar that we have in our home, or to that 1 hour every day or 2 hours every day at our home, or Sunday 3 hours in the temple. So spiritual, even the material activities, either it's spiritually recommended or even the neutral activities can be made into spiritual activities because of the compassionate nature of the Lord. So the walls are no longer there. Even material activities can be turned into spiritual activities. As we know, everything belongs to Lord Krishna. So we are the temporary custodians of things. We may have the best car, we may have the best houses, we may have the best family members, we may be the most intelligent. Everything is because of the mercy of the Lord. And we own all that on a temporary basis. You all agree? We all own that on a temporary basis. Nothing is permanent that we have. So, most of you would have, flown on airplanes. There is this Emirates A380 airplane, one of the most expensive airplanes. If you've gone in that, there's double decker in the top floor, you have first class and business class, very expensive airplane. Now, pilots fly those airplanes. Do they own that? No. So you go to Dubai, there is this gold shock, everywhere there is gold. Now, they deal with so much gold, the employees who are working there, they deal with so much gold. Do they own that? No, on a temporary basis, they manage that, they show you, etc. It just passes through them. And also, practically, you go to CIBC, Scotia Bank, any of the banks, there are tellers. If you want $10,000 from your account, they have $10,000. They deal with so much of money, but it doesn't belong to them. Similarly, whatever we have, even though we possess the best of cars and houses and family, it's on a temporary basis that we possess them. So, most of you would have heard of Alexander the Great, right? So Alexander the Great, he had everything, he conquered everything, but in his deathbed, he had 3 wishes. So he said, one is, my coffin has to be lifted on all 4 sides by the best doctors who treated me, to show that even the best of doctors cannot save when your time is up, because our material life is also temporary. The second wish, he said, all the wealth that I gained, so on the way to the cemetery, it has to be thrown on the ground. Whatever I gained out of this earth will stay on this earth. And the third wish is that outside my coffin, my 2 hands should be out, to show I'm not taking anything. I came empty-handed. That's how all of us came to this world. We came empty-handed. And when we go, we are going to go empty-handed. So everything that we have is temporary. Even the intelligence and the memory that we have is on a temporary basis. So if everything belongs to God and then nothing belongs to us, then how is he going to be satisfied by us giving what belongs to him back to him, right? If I take Prabhu's cell phone and I say, Prabhu, I'm offering it back to you, is he going to be happy? No. But it's different for Lord Krishna, because he's the sum and substance of everything that we have. So here you can think of it as an example. I saw a lot of young children here, babies here. So if you give the best of toys that the child likes, the child loves the toy, but next day he says, my dear father and mother, I'm giving this toy to you. This is the best that I have, but all I want is you to be with me. I don't want you to leave me. Will you not be so happy with the child? You'll come and hug the child. So that is what is the reciprocation that Lord Krishna has with us. And this is the verse that is given to us, 9.27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that as an offering to me. So very easily you can remember. So I just came back from India about 3 days ago. I was there for a few weeks. There are many cotton stores in India because of the weather as well, and many other countries you have cotton stores here as well. So you can easily remember Lord Krishna in our in your day-to-day activities by knowing or understanding this word substratum, to be pronouncing it right. Substratum means the basis or the foundation of everything. Okay, substratum means basis or the foundation of everything. So you go to a cotton store, they have different colored, shirts, pants, dresses for women, handkerchiefs, towels, various thickness, various colors, but the foundation is cotton. Right? In a cotton store, the substratum is cotton, irrespective of various colors, various sizes, towels, etc. You go to a jewelry store, we talked about the jewelry store anywhere and in Dubai as well. So you have chains, you have bracelets, you even have crowns, but the basis is the substratum is gold. So everything that the person who's selling knows everything is gold. It's not silver there. Similarly, when you're talking about, you go to a furniture store. So you have wooden furniture, you have wooden chair, you have wooden tables. The substratum or the foundation is wood. So you have a lot of appliances here. You have lights here, you have the heater, you have the heater that heats up the water in the washroom, etc. Right? So you have the microphone. The substratum or the basis is electricity. So similarly, the substratum of everything, if I'm able to talk, you are able to hear, it's because of the body that Lord Krishna has given us, right? So it's easy for us to think of Lord Krishna in every aspect of what we do without even doing anything different than what we are doing right now. So we continue to do what we are doing, but we are able to remember Lord Krishna more because of the compassionate nature of Lord through this verse 9.27. So whatever you do, so Krishna says whatever you do. So when we say whatever you do, start off with early morning. You wake up in the morning, you check it in the web, in the Google, right? So every day over 1 million people do not wake up. They go to bed and then next day morning they are dead due to various reasons. More than 1 million people every day, 365 days a year across this material world. Now when you wake up in the morning, don't take things for granted. Be in the consciousness of mortality, not in the consciousness of immortality. We always think it'll happen to someone else. Oh, lay off, it'll be someone else, not me. Somebody dies, it's me, not him, not me, but him. But get into the consciousness of being mortality, so that we appreciate, oh, I'm able to wake up, I have my hands moving, leg moving, I can see, look around, your family members are all still alive. That by itself is cause for being grateful to Lord Krishna. Whatever I'm going to do, Lord Krishna, I'm going to do scripturally what is recommended, or even the neutral activities, I'm going to offer it back to you, whatever. And then think of brushing your teeth, think of taking a bath. I was visiting some hospitals because some of my relatives were not well, and they can't take bath, they can't brush their teeth, right? Be so grateful that we are able to. Don't take things for granted, because it might not last too long, and during the time when we are able to do it, offer it to Lord Krishna to get the maximum benefit, right? Offer ordinary to gain extraordinary. When we are driving, right, don't take things for granted. You're able to afford a car, you're able to get an insurance, you're able to afford the petrol, you're able to see, because many people who can afford also cannot see. They don't have their hands, they don't have their legs. You are having everything, so be grateful to that. When you're grateful for what you have, then when somebody cuts you off or goes slowly in front of you, then you don't get angry, right? Usually, he cuts me off, he's going too slow. But then when you see a sticker, new driver, then you seem to be okay a little bit. Or baby on board, you're okay. Or there is no sign, but you try to go overtake and try to look at them in an angry mood, then you see it's a very old man or very old lady, then you're okay. But what we don't understand is there may not be labels or sticker, but the person in front of you may be young, but he just lost the job, his relative died, major financial problem. So when we appreciate what we have, then you don't get angry as well. And one sage said, if you are really going to get angry with something, postpone it to tomorrow. So many things change in that matter of one day. You'll contemplate, and then you have more time to reflect on it, right? There is a wonderful story here. So there was a person who got capital punishment. He was about to be put to death by a king. And they asked him, what is your last wish? They asked him, what is your last wish? He said, my last wish is, I wish I had time to make the king's horses fly. So last wish, he said, I wish I had more time to make the king's horses fly. So the king said, wait, this is an unusual request. What do I lose? Let me give him 1 year time. So he said 1 year he needs to make the horses fly. He said, I'm going to give him 1 year. Okay. This man got a new lease of life. He was about to be put to death that day. He goes home and he's very happy, talks to his wife. I got 1 more year to live, 365 days. So the wife asked, how did you manage that? Well, I said I want to make the king's horses fly. She said, how can you do that? You can never do that. How can a horse fly? You're going to be in big trouble. He said, wait. You know, in 1 year, so many things can change. Our king can be defeated by some other king, and then the rules may change. Our king may die of old age within 1 year. I may die within 1 year, and who knows, after all, the horses may fly after 1 year. So many things may happen. So if you're trying to get angry or want to do something illegal or bad, even though we know and we are tempted, push it out by a day, the sage said, right? Things may change and you may not even want to do that. So whatever you do, whatever you eat. So we say Mahaprasade, we're going to have wonderful prasadam shortly. Mahaprasade Govinde, we say Sarira Vidya Jal. And also Bhagavad Gita 15.14, Krishna says, Aham Vaishvanara Bhutva. So he not only gives us food to eat, but he also gives us the fire of digestion to digest the food. You know how many people cannot digest the food and they die because of that, right? So here we are, nice food is there, tasty prasadam is there, and the fire of digestion is there in our stomach. So we have to be grateful. Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this. Whatever you do for your friends, for your relatives, for your employer, for your neighbors, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer. So Bhagavad Gita 9.26 says, if one offers with love and devotion, fruit, flower, water, etc. So whatever you offer, you can offer havis, ingredients into a fire sacrifice. You can offer your condolences when somebody is not, lost some loved one. You can offer your congratulations. You can offer help, etc. to others. Thanking Krishna, you are able to do that. And whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, what can you give away? You can give donation, you can give charity. My dear Krishna, what you gave me, I'm giving it to someone else because that person needs it, and you are in his heart as a super soul. So I'm giving it to you through them, right? So you can be grateful for what you have that they don't have that you're able to give. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, whatever sacrifices that you do, right? So it can be scripturally defined austerities or sacrifices. Egadasi Vrat, right? So you're not eating grain. That's a sacrifice. Waking up early, that's a sacrifice, right? So Janmashtami, that's a sacrifice. Some of you shave the head when you go to holy places in India, maybe. Tirupati, you're offering it to the Lord, where you're climbing up the mountain. You're going through the pain. You're doing it for the Lord. And even the neutral ones, like you're doing some exercise to lose your weight, is challenging. Offer it to the Lord, then you're dovetailing everything to the Lord. And we know scripturally we have so many pastimes, we don't have time. But Ranti Deva is one who fasted for 48 days, 49 days. He got this food with ghee and wonderful food. But then somebody comes and he says, oh, can I have some food? 1/3 he gives. Second person comes, it's a Sudra, 1/3. Third, a person with dogs, the third part is gone. So his family and him, he didn't have anything except water. And when he's saying, okay, let me at least drink the water, another person comes and he has to give the water too. We are not talking about those extreme cases of austerities. Whatever we can do, you dovetail that to Lord Krishna. And one last thing that I can think of as sacrifice is Dhruva Maharaj. We know in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he did so much of sacrifices. Initially, he wanted the biggest kingdom, but then later on, he didn't want. First month, every 3 days, he ate berries and fruits. Second month, every 6 days, leaves and roots. And the third month, every 9 days, water. Fourth month, every 12 days, he took some air through the nose. Extreme, right? So we're not getting into those extreme. Whatever austerities that we can do, offer it to Lord Krishna. So this is a fascinating verse that Krishna has given. This is our New Year resolution. So remember this 9.27. Make a note of that alone. And then the takeaway today is the substratum. So remember the examples in a cotton store. everything is different color, different size, etc. But the basis is cotton. Jewelry store, different looks, but basis is cotton. Appliances, basis is electricity. Wooden store, basis is wood. Like that, the foundation of everything is Lord Krishna. And the verse is, Yat karoshi yadashnashi, yat juhoshi dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever you give away, whatever sacrifices that you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So 9.26, whatever things that you offer to him, Krishna gladly will accept it according to him if there is love and devotion. 9.27, whatever actions that you can do because of the mercy of the Lord Krishna, your hands are working, legs are working, you have intelligence, memory, etc., offer it to Lord Krishna. And when you do that, two things. One is, you're not implicated in the fruits of that, whether it's positive or negative, and then you go back home, back to garden. Okay, so we wish you all the best for this upcoming new year, and this is a great resolution for you to meditate upon 9.27 from Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you once again, Anand Gaurang Prabhu. Can you give a big round of applause for Prabhu?